Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about pet insurance. Is it worth it? How does it work? Where to find it? And should you be getting it? Let's get into it. With the average cost of dog ownership being from $700 to $1,000 a year on average, it is easy to see why pet insurance has become more and more popular. I mean, the pet insurance market is expected to reach around $12 million by the end of 2027. But what exactly is pet insurance, and do we even need it? Although some pet insurance companies do pay the vet directly, most of them work on a reimbursement system. This means that if you take Max to the vet and he needs some kind of procedure, then you're gonna have to pay the vet with your own credit card and money, and then file a claim with the insurance company so they can give you back a portion of your money that you had to spend. Unlike human insurance, you don't have like a policy number that you would give your vet and then that would be charged through them. It would have to be with your own money and then reimbursed by the insurance company. And note that I said some of the money. Most companies' reimbursement plans range from 70% to 90% reimbursement. Which, by the way, it's more expensive the more you're getting reimbursed. So if you have a plan that's around 70% reimbursement, then you might be paying around $50 a month versus a plan that's 90% reimbursement where you could be paying anywhere from $80 and up. Similarly to human insurance though, you do have a deductible as well. So if you have a deductible that is $500 a year and you go to the vet and max vet bill is $800, then you pay with your own money $500 and the insurance company is going to reimburse you 70 to 90% of the $300 that are left. So if you have a 70% reimbursement plan, you will end up paying $590 instead of the $800 because they would have reimbursed you 70% of $300. But keep in mind that you're still gonna have to be able to pay the full $800 with your own money to the vet while you file a claim and it gets approved, and then the insurance company can then give you back 70% of the money that's above your deductible. So let's take my dog Echo for example. She's a 3-year-old Newfoundland intact female with no pre-existing conditions. Pretend I'm paying $55 a month for Echo to have emergency care with a 90% reimbursement plan. This will cost me $600 a year. A trip to the emergency hospital for your dog can easily run from $1,000 to $5,000, and unexpected surgeries can cost from $5,000 to $10,000. So I think I'd rather pay the $600 a year. But depending on the type of dog that you have, their activity level, age, breed, health, and daily activities, your dog may be more prone or less prone to injury. For example, farm dogs or dogs that are mostly unsupervised can get into a lot of trouble, especially if they are on rough terrain like a farm or are interacting with other animals like in a doggy daycare. It could be ingesting things that they shouldn't be and can cost a pretty penny to pump their stomach, or they could just be handling rough terrain that can cause an injury or broken bone. In comparison to a dog parent that works from home and is mostly taking neighborhood walks and strolls around local parks, dogs that are out in the wild, let's say, are definitely more prone to injury than my dogs who are just walking on a sidewalk. However, this does not mean that your dog may never need an emergency procedure done. There could be hereditary issues that spring up, or other things like maybe parasites, or like we all have known now, the respiratory illness that's going around the US that could also be affecting your dog, whether they're a couch potato or an avid hiker. So it really just comes down to you thinking that it might be better for you to be financially prepared for those kind of situations rather than just having to kind of figure it out in the moment. When it comes to dog breeds like flat-faced dogs, bull terriers, cockers, bullies, Great Danes, and many others that are widely known for having skin issues, chronic ear infections, breathing problems, severe allergies, bloat, and other common conditions specific to their breed, the odds of them deploying a chronic condition may be higher, so maybe pet insurance is something to consider. One more thing is that if your dog is generally healthy and is part of these breeds, then the factor of size can also be something to consider. The price it takes to do a surgery on a Chihuahua may be very different than the price it takes to do a surgery on a Great Dane. So knowing what kind of dog you have and how much money you have in the bank is really going to determine whether you are prepared to handle those kind of emergency situations, or if you need more of a financial backup by getting pet insurance. I do want to emphasize that this does not mean that mutts are safe from getting any kind of chronic conditions. They are not. Depending on the mix and the genetic variability of your dog, they can be prone or less prone to getting chronic conditions or illnesses that are hereditary. The AAFCO published an article where they referenced a study that was done on 27,000 dog patients to determine the likelihood of the 24 most common hereditary diseases occurring. The study found that 13 out of those 24 diseases were actually present in dogs that were mixed as well as purebred, so there was no difference at all. 10 of the diseases were more prevalent in purebred dogs only, and only one of them was more prevalent in mixed dogs. Are you still torn? So am I. It is very hard to say whether pet insurance is worth having, as there are a lot of factors that can influence your decision. Maybe an emergency savings account may be something that is more beneficial to you and your circumstances. However, there are some setbacks to that approach. Although having a savings account just for your dog's needs can be very beneficial, it also brings up the question of how long is it going to take you to be able to cover those expenses. Let's say your dog needs the most expensive surgery, which can cost up to $10,000. How long will it take you to save that money in a savings account? However, the benefit of it is that if your dog lives for 12, 14 years and they never needed an expensive surgery or emergency care, then all the money that you would have saved throughout all those years is still going to be yours, and maybe you could put it towards a future dog, or maybe just keep it for your own savings, versus having to have paid that money to an insurance company that you are never going to get back. In my previous example, where I was paying $600 a year for Echo, if she lives to be 12 years old, which I'm hoping she lives till she's 25, but if she, let's say, lives till she is 12 years old, I would have paid $7,200 to a company that I will never get back, and I maybe never have to have needed it. If I were to just save that money in a savings account, the $55 a month that I was spending on Echo's plan, then it would have taken me 12 years to save $7,000 to be able to pay for any expenses. So you need to consider the length of your dog's life, their current age, and how long it's going to take you to save that money in order to be prepared for any emergency situation. The benefit to pet insurance is that the minute that I signed up for her to have a plan, then I was automatically covered for an unlimited amount based on my own plan, and I don't have to wait a certain amount of time or months to be able to save that money, because they will put that money forward if I needed it. So unless you are financially comfortable or have already a large savings account that you could maybe tap into in case of an emergency, then I'd say pet insurance is the way to go. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is just my personal opinion. So don't go doing things just because you heard some random girl on the internet saying things. Always do your own research and check out all the links and information that I will put in the description, because I do a lot of research to be able to bring you these videos in order for you to make a good informed decision for your pets. Where to find pet insurance? Well, Forbes actually came up with an amazing website that I came across while researching for this video, and it actually compares a bunch of companies that offer pet insurance and gives you a breakdown of the benefits of each one based on your dog's specific need. I have no affiliation to that website, but I will link it down below in case you want to check it out and maybe see what kind of plans are available for you. If you have made it to the end of this video, then thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate it, like always, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video and want to stick around for more videos on dog ownership and other fun dog learning things. If you have other resources related to pet insurance, definitely leave it in the comments, as I'm sure many of us would like to know all the options available to us. And as always, I will link my Medium article about this video in the description below, so in case you want to reference back to any of the articles that I used to come up with this video, then definitely check it down below. It is free to read it if you have an account. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!